Well, folks, it's one of those nights. As you can see me dropping stuff all over the place. Welcome back for another episode of the Replication Anecdotes on the Rounding Off Infinity gaming page on Facebook. My name is Gascally Stamus from GearWorks.com and the E2KG Network podcasting channel on YouTube. Apparently, I'm putting myself on blast here. No idea what I just hit or what the heck Facebook is doing now. No. Yeah, apparently I just took a clip. Didn't know about that functionality. Alright, well, like I said, welcome. God, what smart device is trying to connect to my TV? Well, here we are for another late night live stream on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on Facebook. Or for those of you who will be watching the archive version of this on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube. My name is Gascally Stamus, and I apologize for being late. Very interesting. That's actually the same car that I used for the thumbnail for putting out the announcement here on Twitter. So Monday nights are just rough this month. This is the night that I have my regularly scheduled live stream scheduled. The first one of two that I do each week, and then, but it's also the night that we record What's Your Issue, which is our weekly comic book review podcast for the E2KG network. It is the one podcast that I absolutely have to get out the same night that we record, because if you're not into comics, if you are, you get it. We record on Monday night. The following morning is Tuesday, which is the last day before New Comic Book Day, when all the new comic books ship on Wednesday. So basically, in order for the show to be relevant, it's really geared and designed around us recording Monday night and then immediately getting it posted, and then hoping that the majority of people will listen to it during their morning commutes or during the day on Tuesday to kind of get themselves all lathered up and geared up for a New Comic Book Day on Wednesday. So I have got to pick something to drive. And I really haven't spent any money. So I guess you're going to get to see some of the chicanery that I really don't care for in this game. So in this view, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be scrolling until I find a car listed as free, which indicates that I haven't downloaded it yet. I don't know. So I haven't actually gone to the hub. Outside of the game, to the Forza hub, to see whether or not maybe just all of my DLC cars are available to download directly. But I just know going, I screwed this up. So what I need to do, my organizational approach to going to this, what I need to do is I should have just downloaded this. I should have just downloaded this with a solid color. So I never send an initiating chat message out to the people who drop by to encourage them to join in the conversation. So maybe that'll help. So the way that I normally recognize that a car has not been modified is because I haven't applied a livery to it. I have definitely been screwing that up with some of these DLC cars because I forget that particular approach. Now, one thing I'm gonna have to do, I am gonna have to do an audio mix check here sometime. So what you can do is if you hit Y, that just gives you solid colors, right? I'll just use the black here. Again, this is to remind me that I have not upgraded this car, so that whenever I do actually select it out of my garage to drive, I'll be clued in to make sure that I take it to the garage for my class upgrades. But yeah, what I don't like about this interface is that there's no just one button to just say, download all my DLC cars. They're all just listed as purchased, which I'm like, that doesn't do me a whole lot of good, guys. So basically what I've been doing, because as soon as I bought the game with the package that I bought it with, I had access to like 23, 25 DLC cars, which is just too many to manage right off the bat. But I'm going to need to go in and do an audio mix check here in the course of the live stream, because I've altered the audio setup where last week when I was live streaming, I had my Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra plugged in to the aux port no, what did I wind up in? No, I didn't want to wind up in the garage. I want to buy something. So, and I had the audio mix balance set to 2/3 of the in-game audio, and then basically a third. Right, I think. And basically like a third for the XA1 Ultra for some live stream music overlay that I was doing. So I have unplugged the XA1 tonight just because with the late start, I didn't want to have to monkey around with, you did it again. I don't want to apply the livery. Yes, I do. So I don't know. So every time you go into the Live Gamer Extreme GC550 in OBS, even though I tweak the slider for the audio mix balance on the device, whenever I open it, it's jammed all the way to the left, showing that it's entirely allocated to the in-game audio. Although, but it's not. It just resets the slider to that every time you open the graphic. But when you record, you can hear that it's set properly. Point is, I moved that. When I pulled that cable, I don't know if it's reset. So I don't know if the in-game audio has increased exponentially greater now that it's not trying to duck the in-game audio underneath the aux input. So we'll just have to check that once I put down some laps here. So DLC cars, auto show. I'm not going to worry about the auction. I'll do that sometimes when you guys aren't sitting here hanging around. Alright, so like I said, now I got to pick something to drive. Go with the Abarth 1-4 Spider. So part of the meta, part of the gamification of the game is management of your car collection, which just takes a certain amount of time. So we'll hit up the auto upgrade as a C-Class car. If you've listened to any of the recent live streams, when I do my upgrades, I just try and upgrade a car to the max within the class that it already is. Because one of the things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to maintain a stable of cars in all the classes, so whenever I hit a challenge, I have a variety of cars to choose from, which is even more important in multiplayer. So my upgrade is done. Now I'll have to come back out to Forza and monkey with it a little bit more. We'll hit up some paints. This is one of the things that does not work when the servers are down, or the connection to the servers are down, which has happened quite a bit during this first week that I owned the game. It seems to be clearing up a little bit, but it was definitely aggravating to have bought a new game, and I bought the deluxe edition, and then to constantly be coming in here and not having the servers available, which again I'm not spending a lot of time exploring multiplayer right now, but I am not a graphics designer. I did not realize that was SpongeBob. Okay. I thought it would be kind of cute to apply like this cutesy kind of skin to it, but I just can't do the SpongeBob thing. I have mentioned one of the things I don't like this year, this variant of Forza Horizon is you cannot preview these paint jobs at all. So it's like you pick one, it could have something offensive written on it, or who knows what. And as far as I can tell, like I said, you can't preview it. Now I have. Oh, this is the Jag. I don't want to get in it, but I think I have to get in it in order to move it into my collection, so it's not just a barn find. So now if I go to my cars, actually I'm going to hop out and get in that car. I just want to verify that the Jaguar is now selectable for my collection. Back into my cars. So this could literally be, you could spend your entire time in the game here. So I don't need to monkey with license plates. I do kind of like monkeying around with changing things up on my character. Tops. What am I wearing now? I'm wearing the Leaf tank top. VIP. No jacket now. Nice. The pink trainers. I have not unlocked the beanie yet. Also drop the eyewear. I don't know why the nose stuff is so coveted. Still don't have any bracelets or gloves. Alright, I'm going to hold off on that. I might switch to that halfway through. I've used that emote before. my showboat user. Everybody's gonna have emotes now since Fortnite. Alright. I need to hit up some car horns. I think. Yeah. Alright, we'll go with the guitar slide. I think now I am ready to go out into the world. No. It's not what I need to do. Because part of the thing that I've noticed, particularly...
Alright, it's time. I have a supposedly impassable muddy spring road, a team of motocross riders, and an urgent need to
So because it's spring now and all the roads are muddy, I need to go, because what does not happen with auto-tune is our auto upgrade. This tire selection does not always get automatically made correctly.
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
Where is the... Trying to get back to the Lace House, G. Yeah, Forza Pizza. So I don't even know if this car is drivable in the event that I'm going to wind up going to. And it is a showcase, so I can tell you now, buckle in over there on the virtual couch, because the showcases I tend to have to run a couple times, or a few times. Why does that just say... Okay, alright. So it's got the street tire compound on, 598. So frustrated. Because they don't ever... now see, this is what I don't understand. So this will keep you at a C. Any of those last three... Alright. Unlock spring damper and alignment tuning. I mean, all of those do. This actually improves the car. They didn't apply it in the auto upgrade. So you're not going to be able to do that. Rear tire width. Rims. Multi-piece rim style. So it looks like there are some C's that will let me stay at 600. Let's go ahead and grab these. Front rim size. Now what I've been a little aggravated with is I have seen visual indication of what is going to happen to the car when you perform these upgrades out here, and then I have gone away to a race and seen it lower. Like I've seen it show 600 here, bought the upgrades, take off, go to the race. When you're at the race and it's showing your vehicle in comparison to the rankings and scores of all the other cars, suddenly it'll pop up as 598. So that has been more than a little aggravating. Now, what I don't know, again, is I don't know what the game is doing of its own accord. I don't know, for instance, if you take a vehicle and show up at a race, if it automatically shoes dirt tires on, because I know that it put snow tires on a lot of the cars automatically on its own during the winter season. So I believe that is all I wanted to do. So finally, we're going to go ahead and get going. So I'm sure that there were some people who, and again, I apologize, it wasn't my intent, who maybe got aggravated because I spent a lot of time doing admin. But I got to tell you, there's a lot of time you spend doing car collection admin and configuration and setup on the scene. And I'm not even tuning the car and making my own skins. Which is a completely, which is a thing in and of itself. That I'm sure, I know a lot of people get into. It's not my particular thing. Again, I don't normally race inside the cockpit, but I typically do when I'm transiting from place to place. Unpleasant. I don't know whose property this is. But you're just carousing around with complete disregard for their wrought iron gates. I'd certainly be bothered to all hell if this were my property. Okay. I was wondering if I should have pulled right onto that other path. Now, often in this game I will complain about how unruly these cars are and not realize that I'm trying to rumble down some dirt road as I am now, right at 80 something miles an hour in a sports car. Man, this is grungy as all get out back here.
You have arrived at your destination.
Did I pass the showcase? I may have missed it. There's a good chance that this is not the vehicle that they want me to drive in this event. So we'll have to assess that once we get in here. Normally the late night live stream. That's right, this is a showcase, so they're going to make you drive a designated vehicle. These are these motorcycle guys from the intro.
So, how are you on the dirt? Pretty good, right? I've seen you drive. Are you better than, let's say, a dirt bike? Okay, but are you better than 4 dirt bikes?
So normally late night live stream on Rounding Off Infinity would go until about 1 o'clock. I'm going to push it past to 1:30 tonight. Since I got started so late. And then I'll give us about an hour of playtime at any rate. Okay. So let's go ahead and start talking through some of the tech, really all of the tech that's being used to render the live stream tonight.
All right, guys, this'll be easy.
And,
Just let me the checkpoints and let's go.
So game platform-wise, I am playing on the Xbox One Scorpio tonight.
Just lose yellow.
We lost yellow, okay. Now, unlike most of the other showcases that I've been in, this is an actually
Coming up on the
fairly
quarry.
sure-footed car that's performing competitively, relatively, against the motorcycles. They are still way out ahead. That really bogged down in that water. No! You're... Great. So like I said, I'll be running this event over again.
Hey, Blue, thread the needle with me. Red's down, red's down.
So hopefully I might be able to just beat all these guys through attrition if they're all gonna lop off. And of course
Looks like
there
I'm
is.
the only one left.
Oh, great. Missed the blasted checkpoint. I'm sure I'm gonna get recalled. Or I'm just gonna lose. Came in second.
Don't worry about it. If I tell these guys to run it again, they'll be overjoyed.
Alright. So yeah, so tonight I'm playing on the Xbox One Scorpio. This is actually a launch edition of the secondary variant of the Xbox One SKU. So I actually got my unit on launch day.
All right, guys, this'll be easy. Just don't miss the checkpoints and let's go.
I went through a bunch of herky-jerky getting a hold of mine, and I actually don't know which one exactly this is. So the day that I was supposed to get mine, UPS claimed that they delivered it, but it was not on my porch. I got into a very caustic argument with Amazon. So whatever unit this is, it was shipped on launch day. I did not actually receive it till afterwards.
Coming up on the quarry.
They're making a better run this time. Car's really unsettled though when I got it in the air. Alright, brought it back, good. And actually clipped a little more dry land than that one than I did the first time around. And I'm right on their heels this time.
Hey, Blue, thread the needle with me.
And one of the things I'm doing to try and keep speed up is I am not coming off the throttle at all, so I am two-pedal steering and keeping my
Red's down.
finger on the throttle, but just grabbing a handful of brake when I go into the corner, and then pumping the brake to steer the car around the corner, and then counter steering like hell. I don't really. Okay, I really don't know what else I can do. I thought that was as perfect a run as I could make. I didn't make any actual mistakes, so the only thing I can do is try and pick up some more time on dry ground as much as possible.
Alright guys, this'll be easy. Just don't miss the checkpoints and let's go.
So the day that my Xbox One Scorpio was delivered, or was shipped, or was supposed to get here, UPS claimed that it was delivered. It was not here.
Did we just lose
So I
you?
went back and forth with Amazon. I was really angry. Well, because of course, I mean, in addition to being a gamer, we do podcasts and I write, and so it was very important to me to have this thing on the first day to get the maximum amount of time with it I could,
Woohoo!
particularly going into a weekend.
Hey Blue, thread the needle with me.
So the following day, not trusting that Amazon would actually get it to me in time, I stopped. I stopped by Best Buy on my way home. What the heck is that? On my way home from work, and they actually had Xbox One Scorpios in the store, which I didn't anticipate. I thought that they had all been
Red's
pre-ordered.
down, Red's down.
And actually, I didn't walk into the store to buy one. I actually used the app on my phone to purchase one as soon as they opened, and then I just waited till after work to actually physically go by the store and pick it up. So I got home, and they had gotten a hold of the delivery guy who had, I don't want to say that he hadn't been telling the truth, who had claimed that he had delivered it, and had him deliver it the second day. So I had both, and I was very tempted. I was like, can I come up with a rationalization for keeping both of these?
Coming up on the quarry.
And I was sorely tempted to. Really couldn't justify it. In some of the houses we've lived in, I have had, there might have been a reason because of televisions or whatnot to have. In one house, we had a family room, and the best TV was in the basement. I didn't always want to be down in the basement gaming, so if I wanted more convenient gaming, I would have, I had my PlayStation. I had one PlayStation 3 up in the main family room, and then another one down in the basement.
Red's down, Red's down.
Looks like I'm the only one left.
Trying to figure out how to beat this blue guy. We're fairly close. Did I just cut him off? Yes! Nice.
That was amazing.
So that's a good
I have
feeling
a
when
team
you
of slightly
eke
bewildered
out those last few
motocross
seconds
riders
that you
who
need in
all
the
want to
showcase.
turn behind the wheel of your car now. I'm assuming you don't need to go on bikes.
And I don't know what next influence goal I'm chasing.
Now, I must have done something wrong because
Okay,
I'm
285.
still not seeing you on the Horizon roster. While I look into this, go and teach me a lesson, will you?
Right, so let's figure out what activity we're going to do next. If there is one thing to be said about Forza Horizon 4, there is a ton of stuff to do. I don't know. I don't quite understand why I have this thing set so that you're supposed to be allowed to rewind. But I've never been able to do that in the actual live feed, so I don't know what's going on with that. Yeah, so like I said, I don't really remember which one this is. I don't remember if it's the one that I bought at Best Buy. I don't remember if I kept that one and shipped the Amazon one back, or if I did the other way around. Okay, let's see here. World map. Oh, okay. Is this a barn? There's a danger sign there. Okay, speed trap. Let's go for the danger sign, and that'll let me go over and look for this barn find. In the dark, well, it's never a good idea.
In 100 yards, turn right.
And because I'm going for a barn find, I'm just going to go ahead and stay
Turn left.
in the pulled back view here. Now what I'm going to do
Turn left.
is I'm going to a little bit of the ways down the road here, and then I'm going to check this audio mix balance
Turn right.
in comparison to, or check my voiceover commentary versus all the engine noise. Getting some good loud growly engine here.
In 400 yards, turn sharp left.
Okay, so it sounds like the audio mix balance is just fine. So let's go ahead and... Interesting that this barn find is back somewhere, potentially, by my lakeside cottage. So because of the video game capture card that I'm using,
Turn sharp left.
as I mentioned, I am playing
100 yards,
on the Xbox One X, but I'm not playing in 4K because the game capture card that I'm on does not do 4K pass-through. I do have 3 cards that do, but in the continuing interest of rigging different live stream and game capture
400
setups
yards,
and
you will arrive at your destination.
testing them, that means that I can't just go with...
There's this great story about a film being shot around here somewhere. Supposedly they just dumped the stunt car when they were done. Should we go find it?
Oh, didn't mean to leave that volume up. Great. So where is the... What am I supposed to do about this danger sign? Am I supposed to jump off this cliff? I think that is the plan. Yeah, I'll go smashing into the tree. Come on, get some speed up. Oh, that was a weak jump. Now I'm gonna pass the blasted speed sign. Oh wait, that's a new barn. There's like 3 barn find rumors, and then there's another one down here. Or maybe that's the one that I already found? I don't know. And these barn find rumors can be some work. Hold on. Oh, don't drive down. Don't drive down into the quarry. No. No, what am I? And there she goes. Jackwagon. I was trying to back up. I don't know why. I'm okay. I'm clearly in reverse. Why is this? Why is it backing out over the cliff? Nah, this is really. I hate this when I'm searching for a barn find. I have simulation car damage on. In this game, it doesn't tell you. Like, you just have to kind of. I don't know if there's. I haven't seen any telemetry that comes up that's changed for you, which I don't want. Yeah, so I gotta go. What you can do. I will say this is a nice feature of Forza Horizon 4. You can just have a new car delivered to you right here. So this is the Abarth. Have him bring out the Quadrifoglio. Again, I kind of hate looking for barn finds in the dark. You normally have to do a lot of off-roading. And like I said, I have the simulation damage model on, so what can happen is the car can pick up damage just going over terrain that it's not really cut out to do. Well, that begs the question, and I will do it next time, is why in the world do I not? And I may bounce off this because looking for these barns in the dark is just typically not a good idea, as it turned out to be fruitful. But what I was saying was, it begs the question, why do I not break out like my four-wheelers and stuff when I do have a barn find to do. Just wish the blasted things would actually be like by the road. We never are. I might be able to make a better run at this danger sign, so let's go ahead and try that. Fine, let's fall down the quarry. Play that game. What do we have over here? There's like a lot of abandoned little houses. And he mentioned that there was a movie film down here, so maybe this is just a fake little village they built. The question is the barn down here? That would be quite fortunate. Don't know that that's going to be the actual case. Come on. I'm actually outside the search area right now, so I need to get back inside. So in play to render the live stream tonight is you know I'm gonna do it. You know I'm gonna do it. Probably not smart. Okay, so that feels like I've now damaged the vehicle. Oh, wait, is that the barn? Please be the barn. Come on, I don't want to have to change my car out just to go like 5 more feet. So in play to render the live stream tonight, my game capture card that I'm using is the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme GC550. A USB 3.0. A game capture card. I think it's 3.0 game capture card. I'm going to be really... Is this not the barn? That's aggravating as all get out. Are you seriously telling me that this isn't the barn? It's telling me it's not the barn. That's aggravating. Jeeves. Send out another car. What is this? This is the... No. Come on. It's an Alfa Romeo. The Nomad has been upgraded and is available. I gotta figure out where this blasted barn actually is. This Nomad is slippery as all get out. I was thinking. Barn might be up around this way. Now this is one of these vehicles that just way more powerful than you actually need, so you don't need to go. So, one thing to consider is... Yeah, see, that's ridiculous. I do want to head down to the base of the quarry and just see... Is there anything else down there in the basin that I just missed? Of course, I do realize that I could absolutely just get a game guide and try and figure out where the barn is, but again, that to me defeats the whole purpose. Is this the barn? Seriously. Man, that's aggravating as all get out. Looks like a little abandoned thing here, but it's definitely outside the zone. Great. And what I hate doing is I hate starting the search for the barn and then bouncing off of it, because just remembering, right, like the areas you've searched and everything later. starting all over again. I guess what I need to do is figure out how to get back up there to the left. Which is just a large amount of area here that's not in the quarry to be searched. Now the question is, will this nomad, how well will this nomad hill climb? Apparently pretty damn well. See what we can see up here in the trees. I think I've searched this area before and been ineffective at finding this blasted barn. And now we're in that catch-22 where I've put in so much time in searching so much of this area that I really, again, I do apologize. This probably isn't the most exciting thing to watch in the live stream, but I'm really reluctant to give up on the investment that I've already made in searching this area. Now, when you find a barn, it's one of the most fun things in the game. When you search for a barn for a very long period of time and don't find it, it's absolutely demoralizing. So like I said, I'm using the AverMedia Live Gamer Extreme GC550. One of the coolest features of the GC550 is that it does feature two 3.5mm front panel connections that can be used for a microphone as well as for an auxiliary input, such as what I've been using the last few days, which was a Sony Xperia XA1 Ultra, which I was using to stream Creative Commons music from YouTube, to kind of be my own audio track for that live stream. And I cannot believe that I haven't found this blasted thing yet. I'm gonna get back over here into quarry territory. It's really not where I want to go. Is that just rock? Ugh, really? No, that's a thing I already investigated. Blood nabbit. I investigated this edge before, didn't find it. I went through a thing last night or yesterday, I think, where I was like, it was like there was a damn magnet on the front of this blasted car, like a tree magnet. Couldn't drive at 5 feet without hitting the tree. I can't believe that none of those houses are the barn. I've already searched this quarry. I feel like there's gotta be like a... There's nothing... Is there nothing down there in the water basin that I'm missing? Maybe something around the water's edge that I like looked right at but didn't recognize as being a barn or a structure. Don't drive it. Yeah, I am just not getting it. The other thing I hate is even when you do find a barn, you have to drive up on it like to a very specific point. So I have had it in previous versions of Forza Horizon where I have actually found the barn but didn't approach correctly and didn't get the Discovery cinematic to trigger. Probably not the case here. I'm probably just not getting it. Well, it's just, yeah, wound up being a colossal waste of my flipping time. My own fault. Alright, speed trap. A couple events here that were a little masked by the barn thing. Alright, let's do that.
Turn around when it is safe to do
Lost
so.
a lot of time tonight.
In 100 yards, turn left. Turn sharp left. In 100 yards, turn right.
For a webcam tonight, I am using the Razer Cryo high definition webcam with integrated ring light. Which is one of my favorite features of that camera. Allows you to get a lot done without necessarily having to reach for studio lamps. Now I am using 2 studio lamps regardless tonight. But again, it's kind of like a get-by ring light, you know, so if you don't have studio lamps or if it's a pain to set them up for some reason, you can go without them if you so chose with the Razer Cryo. For voiceover commentary, probably my favorite piece of gear in this setup, I'm using the Razer Siren Elite high-performance streamer's microphone. And I'm using it with a pop filter. And a wire mesh windscreen as well. Well, I'm glad that, oh,
Turn around when it is safe to do so.
I missed a turn back there. Here's the question, can I cut over here? Or is there a lake right there? No, you can actually make it cross country. Now, as neat as this little vehicle is, there's not enough counter steering in the world for me to be able to control this thing effectively. I never do well with this thing. It is a good off-road vehicle though. It's a great off-road vehicle, I think I have had it class upgraded as well. Checking to see if I had just maybe passed a barn by pure
You
happenstance.
have arrived at your destination.
Oh, are you kidding me? Fine, I'll drive the blasted Cosworth. So I think I've learned the folly of my ways, and I think this is the last time I'm going to go on a barn hunt. During a live stream, I've done this twice. It has not turned up anything. I got a little excited after finding like the first 3 barn finds, thinking, I got this. Not the case. Almost. Forgot to jam my foot on the foot. Maybe this Cosworth isn't upgraded? I can't remember. Should have checked. No, I think this is upgraded. So I think I struggled to control this thing, but I think I did eventually figure it out. You have to kind of drive it very near the edge of... Nope. Yeah, here, let me just restart that for you. Very disappointed that it's the only vehicle I have available for this race. It's not my favorite. Let me look at the starting grid. It's an 878. Yeah, I'm up there. I mean, it's not like there's anybody who's got a better vehicle. So you just need to settle down and remember how to drive it. So the Razer Siren Elite, I really like the micro USB to USB-A cable that comes included with it is a braided cable. I always like that. Yeah, you're pushing it too hard in the corners. You need to... Great. Now you can push this car once you get the feel for it down. And I think that's part of the problem is with that twin pedal driving style. The difference is with a lot of cars, it's more throttle than brake to get it to swirl around a turn, but with this car, it's more brake than throttle that you have to do, which is hard for me because it reverses the paradigm that I usually use when I'm two-pedal driving. I kind of have to flip around when I normally drive the car, drive any car in this game. It's just weird for me to be grabbing a ton of brake and a small amount of throttle. Particularly when what you're trying to do is it going to give me that checkpoint? It did, okay. Don't know if I can catch the leaders though. Car's quick. Car is very quick if you can get it under control. Pull off a lot of comebacks. This might be one of those. Chickens. Up into fifth. Come corner. May have been the make or break corner. Oh. Ah, that's frustrating. Yeah, this is part of the problem I had with Far Cry 5 earlier in the year, was just getting distracted by playing a lot of the mission types and side stuff that weren't very fruitful. I really need to, next session, next live stream, I really need to settle on just playing the core events and not getting distracted by the barn finds. They're always, it's a bit of excitement associated with going after them, so I need to knock that off.
You might think they're the lucky ones. Round 6 is a go.
Where's my car? Okay, back over here. I got a new thing right there. Distance is under a mile.
In 400 yards, turn left.
I suspect the next event,
Turn left.
this again might be the harder than I have to drive, so pushing a lot harder in transit to try and again get the feel back for the physics model to this thing.
You have arrived at your destination.
Alright, so this is going to be the last event for tonight. Again, I apologize for spending all that time trying to track down that barn find. Now we'll be back for my early AM live stream in the month of October. Those are scheduled for 4:30 to 6:30 on Wednesday morning, Eastern Time. Of course, now it would be dark. And it's a circuit race. In the dark. Lovely. Now, if you haven't seen me play in a live stream or on a game capture any of the Forza Horizon series, one of the things I do, it's pretty much standard with all racing games, is I do not race with flashbacks on. I don't necessarily... I guess I do leave them enabled in the Formula 1 games by Codemaster. Yeah, this might be a race mode where Codsworth really can't pull it together. It's much more of a all-out throttle wide kind of racer. Ugh. Horrible. 8th, 9th? Of course, I'm complaining and I'm realizing that I'm just doing one of the things I'm not doing is I'm not doing enough counter steering. crap, come on. Come on. Well, I'm going to bet a loser tonight, which I always hate doing. I like for to end on a high note, but I just think you're doing so poorly and not getting this here that staying up to try and pound away and hammer out a better position is just going to wind up with me being way, way, way past my bedtime. Horrible. Some days you eat the bear. Well, so I received my invite to participate in the Project Stream beta with Google in Chrome for with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I may have time to experiment with trying to set something up for that and live stream it, which should be feasible, given my connection. But we'll see. If not, I will be back in Forza Horizon 4 Wednesday morning, as I'm trying to spend as much time as I possibly can with that before the end of the month. Which is when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, which that might be my next game purchase. I'm not perfectly settled on that. Still waiting to see how some other things line up. So in the meantime, thanks so much for everybody. Thanks so much everybody for joining in to this live stream on the Rounding Off Infinity Gaming channel on YouTube or the page on Facebook. This has been another episode of the Replication Anecdotes, which is the branding label and name that I use for my Let's Plays and game captures that feature simulation games and or just arcade style vehicular games. So I'll be back, as I mentioned, Wednesday morning. In the meantime, please head over to the E2KG Network channel on YouTube and select from any of our 4 series of podcasts that we do for your viewing and listening pleasure. You can also get those podcasts on Pocket Casts, as well as our SoundCloud channel, which is under the name E2KG, or E2KG Network. Smash this one sound. So again, thanks so much for joining in. That's going to do it for me. Hopefully I will see some of you back here Wednesday morning at 4:30 a.m. for the early morning live stream here on Rounding Off Infinity. Thanks so much for joining in. That's going to do it for me. I am out of here. Sleep well, happy hunting, and stay safe out there.